Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, the match preview. However, we've got terrible news. Wesley Fofana's out for the season. Lavia out till February. Keenan Dewsbury-Hall is out. We've got some good news in. Romeo Lavia looks like he's set to be back. Reece James is going to get some minutes. However, we need to get into that terrible news because the reality is we are not in a title race, but we are in a top 4 race, and losing Benoit Badiashile and Wesley Fofana essentially means we have to use our 4th and 5th choice centre-halves on a regular basis. Enzo Maresca breaks this down in his press conference. I can't lie to you, I got a low-key emotional. I'm a little bit annoyed right now. My head is kettled, but we need to talk about it. But before we get started, do me a massive favour and let's do something new today. I want to hit 1,500 likes on this video, and the best way you can do it is by hitting that like button, and in the comments below, let me know what number like you are. So if you're number 53, 53 in the comments. It's the best way to support. And secondly, if you're new to the channel, can you subscribe? Because I'll keep you lot up to date with the latest Chelsea news, the previews, reviews, and make sure you get unfiltered analysis from a nice professional environment in my living room. But let's get started. Let's keep it moving. We're aiming for 39,000. Enzo Maresca started the press conference for Crystal Palace versus Chelsea in a normal fashion, right? The first question, who is injured? He said to us, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, he's out. Reece James is going to return. Lavia is back. Badiashile and Fofana are out for a while. And now this has annoyed me a little bit because all of a sudden we're in a predicament where the hope of Fofana coming back in January is no longer here. The hope of Benoit Badiashile coming back quick is no longer here. It means we need to prevail with Disasi and Toussaint unless we throw in Anson Mino or Josh Achempong into the deep end. And now let's break down each one of those stories and what Enzo Maresca said, because it's very detailed. It's actually interesting. Let's go. I want to start with the positive news, right? Reece James is back. He said Reece James made the bench the other day. They want to reintegrate him slowly. He wasn't ready to get any minutes the other day against Ipswich. However, this week he should be getting some minutes against Crystal Palace. Firstly, I don't see the point of having him on the bench apart from just a positive upfield mood and maybe his experience. But if he's not ready to contribute on the bench, surely it would have been better to use someone else on the bench. But in this case, he's back now. He's been training. If he's going to get minutes, we're going to have to ramp him up slowly. It was a hamstring injury, so we need to make sure that his hamstring is fine and ready to go. Look, the reality is we do not need to re-aggravate that injury more than it already has been done. Reece James has got big issues with his hamstrings. He's had hamstring issues for as long as I can remember now. So every time he comes back, everyone dives in with, oh my God, Reece is back. And what happens is Reece James gets re-injured. And I'm telling you now, I'm not getting excited until I see Reece James play 10 to 15 games and stay fit. Because until I see that, I'm not getting gassed, man. I'm tired of absolutely consistently buying in. This time is better. He's had the surgery now. It's just not fair on us and it's not fair on him. The big story here though is regarding Wesley Fofana and Badiashile. So the first thing that we need to talk about is that Enzo Maresca said both of them will be out for a prolonged period, and the journalists did a very good job today. Normally I criticize them, today I'm going to praise them. They did not let this go. They made sure they pulled out every little detail of what's going on. So what happened is, originally when Wesley got injured, Wesley put out a picture and he had his arm around Cole Palmer and he said, this is expected, it's not going to be long, I'll be back sooner than later. Enzo Maresca said he's out till early January, we expect him back then. What happened since then is, I'm guessing they went through some analysis, more tests, more scans, and he's got a hamstring injury. So normally it's the knees with Wesley Fofana. On this occasion, he pulled his hamstring. And not only did he pull it, it must have been severe because they don't know if he's going to have surgery yet, which is worrying. However, they also can't believe that at this moment in time, he could be out for the whole season. There's no time frame given. He literally said it could be a season ender. It's going to be a very long time. That's his quote, a very long time. And the journalist even went on to say, for the whole season? He's like, yeah, potentially. That is mind-boggling. Badiashile, it's a little bit better news. He's back in February. He, I think, also has a hamstring injury. So it's one of those things where we're in a predicament now where we're going to have to change the way we play. And we've seen it, right? Because all of a sudden, Delap bullied Toussaint in a way where once you left them one-on-one, Toussaint couldn't handle Delap. And Delap absolutely physically dominated him. And Enzo Maresca went on to say, Fofana is a top player. I love Wes. I'm in love with Wes. And he said this on numerous occasions. And now he explained what he means by that. He said, look, we could leave Watkins one-on-one with Fofana and trust that Fofana will handle this. And even against Spurs, we could leave Solanke one-on-one with Benoit. And Benoit, we knew, could handle it. It enabled us to press with more intensity, with more ferocity. What he's telling us is, you can't do that with Tosin and Disasi. They just don't have the facilities to provoke that sort of a press. They don't have the ability to deal with people one-on-one. This is the difference between Arsenal centre-backs and other clubs. Gabriel and Saliba handle strikers for fun. They make them look poor. And we were getting to that point with Wesley Fofana. He was playing by himself, but it looks like he's going to be out for a while. And genuinely, I am so rattled because I feel sorry for him. There's this whole notion, and I've had people, people's opinions that I respect saying, yo, sell him, bomb squad him. In the summer, he needs the bomb squad. We need to get him out. My question is, you can't do that. The reason you can't do that is because Wes is a good player, right? Yes, he's not playing. But what is anyone going to pay for a player that is consistently hurt? He's on 200k. He's consistently hurt to the point where no one's going to pay a transfer fee or pay him his wages. So what are you going to do? Just pay him off to leave? And what good does that do? In my opinion, you need to find a way to fix him. Because once you fix him, you see you've got a very good defender. One of the best defenders in the league. We were seeing it, and that's the annoying thing. We saw glimpses of what it could look like with him and Colwell. For me, in the summer, you need to sign a new centre-half. You need to sign a new centre-half. Another player that suffered with injuries is the Romeo Lavia. So what Enzo Maresca said is Romeo's been back in full training now. He's been training with the team. We've been seeing pictures. Romeo's been putting out pictures that he's in training. However, he said we're going to have to ease him in slowly. I think what's going to happen is he's going to make the bench and he's most probably going to get introduction minutes. Hopefully, we're comfortably winning and we can do it then when there's not too much exertion on him. So we can literally just dial him up, you know what I mean? So there's no reaction injury. He doesn't have to come out and play full throttle. But the reality is we need him. And then there was the follow-up questions where do you think he's the reason we started losing as soon as he's come out of the team? And Enzo Maresca was very reluctant to say that because he said, look, he's a top player. However, we were winning games before him and we were winning games after him and we also were winning games with him. So it's unfair to say that. He said, because he's a top player, because Reece is a top player, you take him out, it has an impact on the team. And he's spot on here. And for me, I think that's the reality of it. Fofana's our starting centre-back. Reece is our starting right-back. Romeo Lavia is our centre midfielder, right? Starting centre midfielder. If not, first choice off the bench. We're losing 3 starters. It has an impact. If everyone's fit, we're in a good place. When we start going to the bench, that's when the problems start occurring. And this is the annoying thing because you can't buy all first team members and then expect everyone to be happy when everyone's fit. Because people won't be and you need to manage the squad. But it's really annoying. But the good news is Lavia will be getting integrated slowly. When it comes to Anselmino, this could be a potential good player that we could have, right? The reality is Anselmino's in a position now where he's coming, going to get integrated into the squad. And Enzo Maresca said the 3 reasons he's been brought back are this. They need him to acclimatize into the country, the culture, the football training and the pressure of playing for Chelsea Football Club. The second one is they believe he's talented. The third one is they believe he can contribute. Whether it is now or in the future, that's what they want to do. For me, this is great news. So I went and did some research. Apparently, according to this website, you can you fill in all the information. I've seen someone else do it. He meets the work permit regulations, so he won't have any issue staying. Enzo Maresca basically all but worded it that, in his opinion, he should be staying and getting built up to play with Chelsea Football Club. For me, I'm keeping him, and this is why I'm keeping him. Anselmino and Joshua Chempong have a great opportunity here. Tosin and Disasi aren't good enough. Levi Colwell is not ready to be a title-winning centre-half. He's top 4 already. We need to find him a partner out of those 2 till the end of the season. And they need to get given opportunities. And once they get given opportunities, they can hopefully break in. Once that happens, happy days, because we'll find out whether they're good or not. And then in the summer, we will decide whether we need to go and sign someone new. Personally, I am very, very worried going forward now about that centre-half position. I don't believe in Tosin. I don't believe in Disasi. I want to see more of Anselmino and of Chempong before I can make an opinion. I believe in Levi Colwell. I think he's 21, he's sick, he's a good player in my personal opinion. Now in respect for the Crystal Palace versus Chelsea preview, I think this overall explains one thing, right? We need to think about it this way. Enzo Maresca said we're not in a title race. He's not happy to say that. He just genuinely believed it. That's why he was reiterating it. He said it's nothing to do with talented players. We have talent. We need the togetherness. We need the experience. And at this moment in time, we don't have it. He also said we need to make sure one thing happens. We don't overreact to results. We analyze it performance by performance. We don't panic. There'll be weekends when we're second. There'll be weekends when we're third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. We need to make sure that each weekend, each game, we attack it in a nice combined manner. I totally agree with this. We need to forget the table. The way I look at it is win the next game, win 12 out of the next 19, and you're going to make top 4. Definitely. You're going to have a brilliant end of the season. That's my personal opinion. However, in regards to the view of the game now, and what I want to say is, it's going to be a tough game. Palace are no longer the softies that they were at the start of the season, and even when they were softies, they came to the bridge and stole a point. We absolutely bossed them. We missed so many chances. I think João should have scored his header at the end of the game to win us the game. I think it was the one where he was picked out and the header went just wide. It was so annoying because if he scored that, I genuinely believe we get the extra 2 points. Everyone's rallying around him. The team's better. He could be integrated into the game. And goals change the trajectory of players' careers. Like, it's as simple as that. In regards to tomorrow, we need to deal with Mateta. I am petrified to Tosin versus Mateta, Disasi versus Mateta, Levi Colwell versus Mateta. And I hope Eze has one of his crappy days where he's just disinterested and is not involved in the game. Because overall, we should go to Palace and beat them. However, I won't be shocked if they beat us. And my confidence now after those 3 results has dropped. You know, whereas in the past, I was like, yeah, we can slap them. And I was starting to get that little bit of a chest, you know. I was a little bit excited. Like, straight after you do your dumbbell presses, you go do your Smith machine, you got a big chest, you're pumped. You're like, yeah, everything's good. In this case, we ain't been gym for 2 weeks. It's been bad results. We've been sick. We need to recover now. We need to get back on that bench press, pump it up, make sure we lose any bit of that fat that we gained in the last 2 weeks. Chelsea need to get back to basics. The result is the most important thing tomorrow. Forget the performance, because performances don't matter when results aren't there. Performances matter when it's 5 or 6 games. What matters now is get 3 points, get the fans back on side, stop the panic, get a little bit of a gap from Newcastle if possible, and Manchester City, and then we move on from there. Guys, my prediction is we win 2-1. I don't think it's going to be comfortable. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but I think we're going to get across it. We're due a victory. It's been 3 game weeks. So it is what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to see more of the Kavkas View and what we spoke about yesterday regarding Colomwani and why Fabrizio was right all along, go check out this video out over here. It's very informative. And if you want to see our transfer plans for January, Mikel basically told us everything you need to know. And that video is over here. Peace. Have a lovely day. 1,500 likes is what we're aiming for. Hit it now before you forget.